Episode 29, The Ruby Slippers. Moment, the December series day 29, The Ruby Slippers moment. At the end of The Wizard of Oz, Glinda the Good Witch tells Dorothy something that changes everything. "You've had the power all along, my dear." Dorothy is stunned. She says, "I have." And Glinda says, "Yes, you've always had the power to go back to Kansas." Dorothy looks down at the ruby slippers on her feet. The slippers she has been wearing the entire journey. The slippers that were there from the very beginning. And she realizes, I never needed the wizard. I never needed Oz. I never needed anyone to give me the power. I had it the entire time. I just did not know it. This is your ruby slippers moment. The moment you realize the narcissist never had power over you. You gave them power, and you can take it back. Right now, in this moment. You have always had the power, you just did not know it. Here is what the ruby slippers moment means. First, it means you realize the control was an illusion. The narcissist made you believe they controlled you, that they decided your worth, that they determined your value, that they held your happiness in their hands. But they did not. They never did. You gave them that power. You believed their lies. You accepted their version of reality. You let them define you, but it was always your choice. And now you are choosing differently. You are taking the power back. Second, it means you stop waiting for permission. Dorothy thought she needed the wizard's permission to go home. She thought she had to earn it, prove herself worthy, complete the journey. But she did not need permission. She had the power the entire time. She just did not believe it. You have been waiting for permission too. Permission to leave, permission to heal, permission to move on, permission to be happy. But you do not need permission. You never did. You have the power. You always did. Third, it means you stop seeking validation from the narcissist. You wanted them to see you, to acknowledge you, to validate you, to admit what they did, to apologize, to change. But they never will. And here is the truth. You do not need their validation. You do not need their acknowledgement. You do not need their apology. You know what happened. You know the truth. And that is enough. Fourth, it means you realize you were never powerless. The narcissist made you feel small, weak, helpless, dependent. They convinced you that you could not survive without them, that you needed them, that you were nothing without them. But it was a lie. You were never powerless. You were just convinced that you were. And now you are remembering. You are strong. You are capable. You are powerful. You always were. Fifth, it means you stop believing their narrative. The narcissist told you a story about who you are. They said you were too sensitive, too emotional, too needy, too difficult, too much, not enough. And you believed them. You internalized their narrative. You made it your identity. But it was never true. It was their projection, their manipulation, their control, and now you are rejecting it. You are writing your own narrative. You are defining yourself. Sixth, it means you realize the journey was never about them. You thought the journey was about fixing the relationship, about making them see you, about earning their love, about proving your worth. But the journey was never about them. The journey was about you, about remembering who you are, about reclaiming your power, about finding your way home. And home was never them. Home was always you. Seventh, it means you stop giving them access to your energy. The narcissist fed off your energy, your attention, your emotion, your reaction. They needed you to stay engaged, to stay reactive, to stay plugged in. But you do not have to give them that anymore. You can unplug. You can walk away. You can cut the cord. And they cannot stop you. Because the power was always yours. Eighth, it means you realize they cannot hurt you anymore. The narcissist's power came from your fear of abandonment, your fear of rejection, your fear of being alone, your fear of their anger, your fear of their retaliation. But once you stop fearing them, they have no power. They can rage, they can manipulate, they can smear you, they can hoover, but they cannot hurt you because you are no longer afraid. Ninth, it means you stop needing closure from them. You wanted them to explain, to admit what they did, to give you closure, but they never will, and you do not need it, because closure does not come from them. Closure comes from you, from accepting the truth, from letting go, from walking away, from clicking your heels and saying, I am done. 10th, it means you realize you can leave whenever you want. Dorothy could have left Oz at any time. She just did not know it. She thought she was trapped. She thought she needed the wizard. She thought she had to complete the journey. But she was never trapped. She had the power to leave the entire time. And so do you. You are not trapped. You never were. You can leave, right now, today. This moment. You have the power. You always did. In The Matrix, Neo has a ruby slippers moment too. It is the moment he stops running from Agent Smith. The moment he turns around and says, "My name is Neo." The moment he stops believing the system has power over him. The moment he realizes, I am the one. Not because someone told him, but because he decided. Morpheus tells him, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. You have known the truth for a while now. You have known the narcissist was toxic. You have known the relationship was abusive. You have known you needed to leave. But knowing is not enough. You have to walk the path. You have to click your heels. You have to take the power back. This is your ruby slippers moment. The moment you realize you have had the power all along. The narcissist never controlled you. You gave them power, and now you are taking it back. They cannot manipulate you anymore because you see through the manipulation. They cannot gaslight you anymore because you trust your own reality. They cannot devalue you anymore because you know your worth. They cannot discard you anymore because you have already left. They cannot hoover you anymore because you are no longer available. They have no power over you because you have taken your power back. In Ephesians chapter 6 verse 10, Paul says, "Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power." Your power is not just your own. Your power is divine. Your power is backed by God, and no narcissist can stand against that. Dorothy clicks her heels 3 times. She says, "There's no place like home." And she wakes up, not in Oz, in Kansas, free. Neo stops running. He turns around. He says, "My name is Neo," and he becomes the one, free. This is your moment. Click your heels. Say your name. Take your power back. You have had it all along. You just did not know it. But now you do. And everything changes. The narcissist cannot control you anymore because you finally realize they never could. You are awake. You are powerful. You are free. Tomorrow, day 30. The true self returns, the version of you before the trauma comes back online, but evolved. Episode 29 complete. The ruby slippers moment. Realizing you've had the power all along and the narcissist can't control you anymore. Ready for episode 30, the true self returns.